Well, the intervening weeks have been interesting. And to be honest, we've won a couple games we probably shouldn't have won. Since being Tekvis and Silex, we beat Karabe 6-1. This was just an absolute demolition of a game. Masevsky a goal, Nikolov a goal. Masevsky, the other Masevsky, Ivan, a goal. Darko Groznodowski had a goal. Neminskowski had a goal. Arpiv had a goal. It was literally 6-1 after the 51st minute, 54th minute rather. They got a goal in the 66th minute. Everybody had a solid game, with the exception of David Volovsky, and I'm not quite sure why. Kostovsky came on as a sub, and was also kind of subpar, but I think that's because I just slowed the game down, and he really didn't have a lot to do. Against Tedix, we won 1-0, and we probably shouldn't have. Nikolov got sent off in the 70th minute. I had a bunch of guys in yellow card trouble, so I went back to the balanced, was playing a lot more cautiously than I normally do. They had their chances. They just couldn't make them work. Against Gostovar, we beat them 2-1, thanks to Blasevsky and Glisic goals. This was one of those games where, despite the ratings, we really didn't look it. It's hard to explain. It's just, I didn't feel, the 2-1 didn't really seem deserved, if that makes sense. If we go to the statistics, we had 12 shots, 7 on target. They had 4 and 2, but there were hardly any highlights. I mean, there were like 4 or 5 highlights in the entire match, and the 3 of them were goals. A couple of them were corner kicks, and one of them was an attempt that we blocked. And it was just one of those where it was like you didn't see the game play out. So, you're looking at the results and you're looking at the ratings going, okay, they had a really good game, but you're not seeing it. I normally watch on key highlights. There's some games I'll watch extended highlights. Maybe I need to start watching extended highlights more. And against Voska Sport, we absolutely demolished them 3-0. Darko Grozdanovsky, brace of goals. Blazevsky, Dejan Blazevsky, a goal. After not scoring the first few matches of the season, Darko Grozdanovsky has finally gotten off the schneid, for lack of a better term, and has started scoring again. This was all preseason stuff here. This is when he was injured. Came back, he had an 8.3 last game, although for some reason his ratings are falling in a couple of areas. I'm not quite sure why. So today we're playing Slaga. They're in the 2nd Division East. They're having a pretty good season. So we have to take them seriously. If we don't, they're going to jump up and totally beat us. So, what are we looking at here? I need to switch Rickoff and Klisic. We're going to bring on no, we're not. What we're going to do is leave Miskovsky there, but we're going to bring on Misevsky, put him on the bench as a substitute. Now, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of doing this, but Lazevsky's at 86%, Piev's at 90%. So we're going to have Kasevsky in goal, Rykov, Miskovsky, Stoyanov, and Glisic as the defensive back four, Misevsky as the defensive midfielder, Blazevsky and Nikolov up top, or in front of him as the midfielders, rather, Pertalko and Volkovsky as the attacking mids, and Vardar up top as the striker. And that is because... You know what? No, Grossanowski is at 92%. That's okay. But what we will do is put Vardar on the bench as soon as I find him. Now, this is the skin acting up. I'm not quite sure why, because I haven't changed anything. We change it to that. That goes there. We change it to that. That goes back. If I change this to... It still shows up that way. Is it a little less intrusive? I don't know. Kasevsky, the Mitrov. Mitrov drives forward. Back to Bekjiri. He sends it in. Petrovsky's there. Off the post. Kasevsky picks up the carom. I don't know that this really makes a difference. Let's change this back to sideline. Stoyanov. All the way back to Kasevsky. He sends it over to Petalko. Petalko holds it up. Gets it back to Rykov. Rykov to Blazevsky, to Rykov. Beats Partalko, Grossanowski. Oh, he gives the ball away. Bushevsky to Rexipy. Kasevsky gets between the defenders, takes the shot. Kasevsky, a very nice block. Mitrov. Oh, right at Kasevsky, a very nice stop. Yeah, it's an issue with the skin. I'm not quite sure what. because it's those parts of the screen that are not going away. I cleared the cache, and that didn't seem to work. We'll just restart the game after this. Ksevsky, Bikjiri, Ishmaeli, Bikjiri. Back and forth. Okay, they remember there was other players on their squad. Busevsky, back to Ramadani. Ishmaeli gives the ball away. Grosdanowski. Oh, back to Velkovsky. Grosdanowski, and he absolutely muffed the shot. He hit the crossbar. Sloga's been outplaying us. They've had 7 shots, 6 on target. We've had like 7 and 1, 8 and 1. Partalko beats Grosdanowski. Blasevsky. Partalko breaks right, holds it up, feeds Rykov. Rykov takes the shot off the crossbar. Nikolov can't stop it from going out of bounds. I've had 2 woodwork hits. Glisic, Partalko, back to Blasevsky. Oh, somebody was fouled. Ishmaeli tripped. Who did he trip? He tripped Grosdanowski. This should be Glisic. No, it's Masevsky. And he scores. Well struck. His 4th goal of the season. Now, the keeper guessed right, but he didn't dive far enough. Glisic on the corner kick in. Knocked wide by Busevsky, but Rykov should pick it up. Gets the ball to Velkovsky, over to Glisic. He feeds Nikolov. Nikolov to Masevsky. Masevsky, Grosdanowski got between the defenders, takes the shot, and he puts it far post. Well, it took a while for him to come back from that injury. It wasn't all that serious. He missed 4 or 5 weeks, and he just never regained his form, but he has been on a scoring tear these last few games. I did start Vardar one game, and the 16-year-old scored. Part of me is wondering if that didn't light a fire under Grosdanowski to get his act together and start scoring himself. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm going to say has happened. And with a 2-0 lead, we go into the half. And about the 30-minute mark, we decided we were going to start actually playing. And Sloga had 8 shots and 6 on target then. And they go into the half with 8 shots, 6 on target. Jovanovski, rather. Some of these name pronunciations are going to be fun. Moskovsky heads the ball, but goes right to Busevsky. Petrovsky picks it up. Back to Bushevsky. He gives the ball away. Glisic. Long pass. Tried centering it for Grosdanowski, but he got held up. Masevsky heads it. Partalko. Blasevsky. Out to Partalko. He gets it back to Rykov. Beats Blasevsky. Centers it. Velkovsky's there, and he scores. Nice pass in front of the goal for Velkovsky to tap it in. Nice ball movement there. Not a lot the keeper could do to stop that. Make a couple substitutions after this here. Glisic to Nikolov. Masevsky. Grosdanowski. Taps the ball up. Velkovsky. And he scores yet again. His 3rd goal of the season. After the highlight here, we're going to make our changes. If this keeps up, what I may do is just go to another skin until I go back in and fix the issues with this one here. Need to make some changes. Especially with the whole tactics thing. That's mildly annoying. Okay, we're going to get Endosky on for Masevsky. We're going to get Stoshkovsky on for Mizkovsky. I think we'll hold our 3rd sub until we need to. Blasevsky. Up to Grosdanowski. He breaks right. Pulls it up. Crosses it in. Velkovsky. A little hard. Oh, I think that was an own goal. It was. Ishmaeli slid to try and kick the ball away and ended up kicking it into his own goal. I don't know what the heck he was thinking there. Maybe he forgot which goal he was playing in front of, but we'll take it. And another thorough demolishing. 20 shots, 8 on target, an XG of 3.45, decent possession advantage, 3 clear cut chances, 4 half chances, really good pass completion rating, really good tackles rating. We got beat in the air, which is a rarity. Average rating 7.81, absolutely dominated. That was a very good win. So if the same graphics issues appear in the next game, I'll probably go to a secondary skin while I go in and fix this. That'll take a while though. Like I've mentioned before, I am not a coder by any stretch of the imagination. So going in and fixing stuff is a little bit interesting sometimes. But like the cool thing is, so at one point in time, all of this here was in Korean. It was Hangul. So you figure out what widget this is on this screen. You go in and you search. I mentioned it before. You use a program called Astrogrep to find characters or phrases or words in a file. So you put in the Hangul characters. You see, okay, hey, this is the player's screen. There's a widget in the player's screen. So you go through and you make the change. You save it. Then you clear the cache, and any changes you make will pop up. So originally, like, this was all Hangul. This was Hangul. You know, a lot of this over here was Hangul. It's just a matter of going in and taking the time and energy to do the work to figure out what you need to fix. And sometimes it's just time consuming sometimes. And we drew Tedx in the semifinal. They're currently in 4th. So we'll come back with the Orid match here in just a bit. Like I said, if we keep having the same graphical problems, I'm going to switch out skins and we will use a different one next episode. So back with that in just a bit. Now, the president's still I haven't really done much. I've been looking at the skin and went down that rabbit hole. That's my mistake. The president's still talking trash. I'm in control to take over. I'm not quite sure what to think about that. What's everybody looking like? Velkovsky. Switch him out with Partalko. Who's at 88%? Still isn't all that great. So we're going to have Gusevsky in goal, Glisik, Stoyanov, Miskovsky, and Rusetsky as the defensive back four. Misevsky is the ball-winning midfielder, Nikolov and Piev in front of him, Blazevsky and Portalko as the attacking mids, and Grozdanovsky up top as the striker. Panovsky on the throw-in. Dispossessed, Blazevsky just bombs it forward, no one in particular. Tafa picks it up. He lumps it forward. Stoyanov heads it down for Nikolov. Nikolov to Piev, who bounces it off an Orid player. Panov out deeks one of my defenders and then skies the ball over the crossbar. Bukowski misses the header. Shuku breaks wide left. And he's fouled. Portalko just bited him out of the way. A quiet first half. Just those highlights. And looks like we're going into halftime. 0-0. 9 shots, 3 target for us. 2-1 for Orid. Panov to Sprikowski. Back out to Panovsky. He centers it to Sapkowski. He overruns his own ball. Gets it to Shuku. Shuku to Milkov. Gusevsky, a nice save. I think that was going wide right, but better safe than sorry. Corner kick for Orid. Sprikowski. Knocked away. Stoyanov looks like he's going to run it down. Interesting end to the highlight there. Hodson just bombs it forward. Rutsetsky picks it up. Gets the ball to Partalko. He gets the ball to Piev. Rutsetsky back to Partalko. Partalko to Piev. Piev back to Rutsetsky. Rutsetsky to Misevsky, who is fouled. He's off. Sprikowski is off. Not that that's going to help us. 61 minutes in, we're going to make a couple of changes. Gonna bring Blazevsky on for Piev. Gonna bring Rikoff on for Glisick. Hodson bangs at 4. We're going to demand more from the squad. Blazevic. Nikolaev over to Rikoff. Rikoff to Blazevsky. He tries feeding it up, but a Orad player steps in front of it. Ball goes back to Hodson. He just bombs it forward again. Ritsetsky. Nice job controlling the ball. Ristevsky. Portalko. Back to Ristevsky. Centers it to Blazevsky. Up to Grosdanovsky. Ritsetsky. Blazevsky. Portalko. Misevsky. Nikolov. And a nice save by Hodson. Hodson again banks it forward. Ends up at Rikoff's foot. He gets the ball to Nikolaev. Back to Rikoff. Blazevsky. Long cross. Portalko. Holds it up, takes a shot, centers it to Grosdanovsky, rather, and he is there for his 6th goal of the season. That was an excellent counterattack. Long pass by Blazevsky. Portalko, nice job controlling it, and just centers it right for Grosdanovsky. And with an 83rd minute goal from Darko Grosdanovsky, we eke out a 1-0 victory against Orad. 21 shots, 5 on target, 5 block shots, 2 clear-cut chances, good possession advantage. Decent job on the passes completed, won all of our tackles, won most of the headers. The one red card they had certainly did not help them. And frankly, if that player hadn't been sent off, I suspect this would have been a draw. So let me save the game here real quick. Nope, he breached the yellow cards limit. So if we go to the budget, take into account future transfers, we are going to be a little bit over our payroll. But I suspect we're going to have a few players leave in January. What I'm going to try and do is a lot of these players who are just low potential, I'm just going to try and move them on. I'll put them out there for free transfers. You know, hey, you can pick this player up for free, and we'll go from there. So, I mean, there's just players on this squad who aren't going to be contributing, who are earning a decent amount of money. You know, 100 pounds, you add that up over 4 players, that's one really good player you can bring onto your squad. And I do have a couple players that are wanted at the moment as well. So, you know, Igeski's wanted. I can move him no problem. And he's transfer listed. You know, I've got a dearth of players in some positions. Keeper is one of them. And I think we'll have our opportunities to improve the club, no problem. So let's see. Do we know who we're playing next? The semifinal second leg isn't until March. So what we're going to do is come back in February for Cadino and Base. I'll take a screenshot in December and also go through and show and when we come back in February, well, the transfer window should be over, and we'll take a look at the spreadsheet and see how the teams are doing, or see how the squad's doing rather, and where we need to start possibly individualizing training for some of the youngsters. So that said, a really good match against Slaga. The 5-0 was just an absolute, it was a great game. I wonder if it's a skin size. Like I said, I got new monitors, and the new monitors are a slightly bigger display area. They're 2540 by, whatever it is. And this is, no, we'll see what happens. And then if I keep having the skin issue with the panels not disappearing in the save, I'll just switch to a new skin for the short term. So that said, some very good games for us. We're doing really well. The guys are staying mostly healthy. I really wish we could start getting more fans at home. We got a 36,000 seat stadium. You know, the fact we're undefeated, we're doing really well. I would like to see more fans coming in. So, and hopefully a win against Tedx, and we're playing them back to back here. So that should be fun. And then after that, we'll come back for probably Tex and Orid, and then end the season out with Silex and just an overview. So I think we're well on our way to promotion. The chances of us going down by 12 points and having Orid gain on us is 15 points rather, is still there. So at some point in time, we're going to get a message saying that we've clinched at least second spot. I think you go to the promotion playoff if you're in second place. So, but we're aiming for first, and we should get there. So if you did like what you've seen and heard, please avoid it. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer as fast as I can. My name is FM22, and I thank you for watching.